Hello, this is Group 7, which consists of Rachel Bixel, Danica Christensen, and Andrew Oborn. And today we are going to discuss Chapter 5 of the DevOps Handbook, selecting which value stream to start with. In this presentation, we will talk about Nordstrom's implementation of DevOps, Greenfield versus Brownfield services, systems of record and systems of engagement, where to start in DevOps, and expanding DevOps throughout an organization. To begin, we will look at Nordstrom's transition to DevOps in 2013. Nordstrom, a fashion retailer, wanted online revenue growth, realizing the need to keep up with growing e-commerce competition. Although they had optimized for cost, they were not well prepared for the increasing speed of the competitive market. In an effort to change this, they focused on 3 areas of the company that weren't meeting business goals, these being customer mobile application, in-store restaurant systems, and digital properties. We will discuss the first 2. Nordstrom's mobile application had many unhappy customers and universally negative reviews. To make matters worse, the current business structure allowed for only 2 updates per year. In an attempt to combat this, Nordstrom created a team exclusively for mobile application upkeep. This team could independently implement, test, and deliver value to the customer, which improved overall quality and sped up response time. For Nordstrom's in-store restaurant systems, they wanted to decrease cost while increasing quality. After finding issues in their work intake and deployment processes, they focused on improving those areas, reducing code deployment lead times by 60% and the number of production incidences by 60% to 90%. These successes gave other teams within the company confidence that DevOps can work for various value streams.
Software services and products are usually categorized into either greenfield or brownfield projects. In urban development, greenfield is building on undeveloped land. On the other hand, brownfield is building on previously used land, which means having to tear down old buildings or dealing with hazardous wastes. In technology, a greenfield project is creating new software or applications with few constraints. These projects can be easier because you don't have to worry about existing code, processes, and teams. Brownfield projects in technology are existing products or services. These type of projects usually come with large technical debts. The Nordstrom example in the previous slide was a brownfield project. DevOps have been able to work successfully in both greenfield and brownfield projects. Some examples of successful brownfield projects include CSG International and Etsy. The bimodal IT has become popular from the Gartner research firm. Bimodal IT refers to the wide spectrum of services that typically enterprises support. Within the bimodal IT, there are systems of records and systems of engagement. Systems of records are enterprise resource planning systems where it is vital to have correct transactions and data. These systems are typically slower at changing and have regulatory and compliance requirements. Gartner calls systems of records type 1. They focus on doing it right. Systems of engagement are the customer-facing or employee-facing systems. For example, e-commerce systems or productivity. Systems of engagement usually have higher pace of change to meet the needs of the customers. Gartner refers to the system as engagement as type 2. They focus on doing it fast. Making changes to any of these systems is limited by the one most difficult to change. This typically is the system of record. By making downstream systems safer to change, we help the whole organization achieve its goal quicker and safer.
When beginning a new DevOps project, it is important to begin in the best way possible. In some cases, if the DevOps process is not started carefully, the entire project can be canceled. There may be some people in the organization who are resistant to change or to DevOps itself. It is important to begin building a base with those in the organization who are the most sympathetic to your cause. Working with those who are innovative will also help your project succeed. It is important to avoid trying to win everyone over at once with a big bang approach. Work first with those mentioned above and the project will gain more traction. Once DevOps has been introduced into the organization, expanding the DevOps culture can present additional challenges. As mentioned in the previous slide, building a solid base of support is critical. The innovators and early adopters should be the first step. This group actually wants to help with the project, and they support the DevOps culture. Ideally, this group should be those who are respected and/or have influence in the organization. Once this base support foundation is in place, the next step is to build a critical mass and the silent majority. This is essentially gaining as much support as possible, regardless of the clout or pull individuals have in the organization. This creates a bandwagon effect. The last step in the DevOps expansion is to try and win over those who are called holdouts. These are high-profile detractors. With the support of the innovators and the backing of the majority, often this group has little choice but to accept the change. In conclusion, we have covered how Nordstrom implemented DevOps and the success they've seen because of it, greenfield and brownfield services and the differences between each. We have also covered bimodal IT, or systems of record and systems of engagement. Lastly, we have covered where to start with the implementation of DevOps in an organization and how to spread the DevOps culture throughout the organization.